This is TWiT.
Happy birthday, Android. You're 13 years old now. This is a huge milestone. You're officially a teenager. That's right. Those of you might be wondering, what do you mean 13 years old? So Android was actually officially introduced on November 5th, 2007. So actually we're about 5 days late. But you know what? A belated birthday is better than no birthday at all. So happy birthday, Android.
Android's voice is all cracking right now. Like, thanks a lot, Flo. Appreciate it.
Well, what's even more interesting is that Android can now have their own Gmail account, and they can register for Facebook.
That's a good point.
And they could be on message boards and all that sort of stuff, because 13 is the child internet lowest bar. Although I do hear that's being moved to 16, but I think if you're 13 you can get away with it. So Android can be on TikTok, and it can be on Instagram and all the other fun social networks the kids are using these days.
Let's be real, though. Android's smart, and Android has a lot of cool friends. So Android's been there for a long time. This is like an official, point for everyone else. Android knew how to get there well before Android was 13.
True.
Years old.
So if it has really been
or wannabe Android peeps. Frenemies.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. But so it's been 13 years of Android, and since we don't have much news tonight, if you both were pressed to think of your favorite Android moment in time of the last 13 years, what would it be?
Oh boy,
because we've seen a lot in the timeline of Android happen, right?
My favorite moment in Android,
like history. when you just like free association, when you think 13 years of Android, what pops into your head? I'll start.
Okay, go.
Yes, please.
The Jason, when we did the show back in the day, when we had the first Android tablet.
Oh, so that was the
Motorola
Zoom,
the
right?
Motorola Zoom, yeah, exactly, the XOOM or whatever it was. And then it was like that was the moment where I'm like, oh, this could be something. This is you start to see the potential of the operating system and all that sort of stuff. But once that was the moment we started branching out into beyond phones, which I thought was super interesting. So that's one of my favorite memories.
Flo, what you got, or do you?
I feel like this is a very typical answer for me to have, just very characteristic of me, but I'm just thinking about all that Android has sort of enabled me to do, because it came into my life in my early 20s. And so it really unlocked a whole new world of usability for me. And I think with just like the career path that I took and everything, I've just had this little like companion, and it's kind of wild to just think about how far this device has become. It's not just a communication device for, back in the day, I had my cell phone on me all the time because I was texting a friend, right? But when I wasn't doing that, the phone was just sort of sitting idly by. Now the phone is just everything to me. And
now the phone is your friend.
Well, not just that. I was remarking about this last week. But can you believe how much collateral we carry on us every single day just on our phones? I mean, it really is. I feel like we don't speak to how much of not even just an accessory, but an extension of ourselves these devices are. And just thinking, I mean, I have over 5 years worth of conversations on this device. I have 25 years worth of photos that I have access to on this device. I have music, movies. It really is just, it's really blown up. I mean, we have to give it some credit. And there goes my Tamagotchi in the background. I don't know if the mic picked that up.
Your Tamagotchi's blowing up now. I echo all that. I'm having a hard time picking just one moment. So I'll throw out three really quick moments. Moment number one is my Motorola Droid, the original. And just how like awesome and powerful that felt back in the day.
Heavy. That was a heavy phone.
And heavy. It just was awesome. That was my first phone of that type, and so it was great. Number two, Google Glass, and in particular the moment on the show where Ron puts it on, and holy cow, because I will never get over it. It's one of my favorite moments in history. Exactly. And then number three, Google's announcement where I believe it was the Oreo announcement where Flo, you and I did the live coverage of whatever that was going to be. And we got on set ready to do like serious live coverage of something that Google was doing, a live event. And it was literally just them unveiling the statue. And we vamped for half an hour and made it worth something. We were tricked by Google, in other words. So, yeah.
Oh, good times.
I could totally come up with so much more.
So, well, here, let me focus it a little more. So in the past 13 years, all things being equal, operating systems, functionality, all that sort of stuff, if you had to pick one phone to represent your Android experience, which phone would it be? Like if your yearbook photo of the 13 years of Android, you're holding a phone, which phone is it?
Oh boy, that's an on the spot question.
I'll go first again to give you some time to think, but it's an answer that the whole audience will know.
Yeah, I know it.
The wonderful Nexus 5. Which is the first entry into the Android Hall of Fame, and still to this date the greatest Android phone there ever was. So Nexus 5 all the way.
100%. 100%. I feel like for me it would be the Samsung Galaxy S3. That was a really popular phone at the time, but it was also the phone that I adopted that took me away from the grasp of iOS, which I was in for about 4 to 5 months briefly. I had a brief dance with an iPhone. And then when I went to the GS3, it's sort of, I remembered and that UI was atrocious. And even then,
TouchWiz,
I just thought about the capabilities of what I could do. And I remembered how easy and how fluid the UI was, because even if the UI is not aesthetically what we've always aspired to, there's something about the way you interact with it, the way you select things, the floating action button, which is just like the marquee of the Android interface. All of that just kind of like instantly comes back. It's a very natural thing. And I think that's why Android feels like home.
Android, you feel like home. My easy answer would be the Motorola Droid for all the reasons that I've already talked about. But as I think about it more, I think the Moto X, the original Moto X 2013, the one that you could do Moto Maker and customize it, and just how that felt like, holy cow, this is Android awesome. You know what I mean? Like there was so much right about that era.
If only the camera on that thing were better.
But the cameras on most phones sucked right then, you know.
I was just saying, all things being equal, what they were at the time, you know. So,
but that was like,
but by the way,
that was awesome.
We have Rick Osterloh, current head of product at Google. We have him. That was a part of that Moto X experience. That was part of that whole design paradigm, that whole launch. Including the Moto 360 era. I mean, if we just recall, since we're talking about all the extensions of Android, if we just recall, I know Wear OS hasn't really been coming out of our mouths recently, but remember when it was new to us and it was exciting, and boy, has it been eclipsed by so many other platforms.
It really has, but it still keeps on kicking. It still keeps on going.
It does still keep on ticking.
And when you think about the expansion of Android over 13 years, it took us 13 years to finally get a decent remote control based TV device from Google, at least. I mean, we have it from Shield and we have it from Xiaomi and other ones, but the new Chromecast took them 13 years to get to this point. So, yeah.
I kind of want to, by the way, get Chromecast with Google TV for all the TVs in the house, because I can't deal with the phone anymore being the controlling mechanism.
It's rough. Yeah. Cool. Well, they don't cost that much, so I suppose you could for a couple.
No, I know.
How many TVs do you have in your house?
17.
I have three total. 17. We have 3 TVs. Yeah, so
a little bit of an investment,
but I am holding out for the NVIDIA Shield for the living room TV. I'm holding out to see what sales will come for us, whether Santa will bring me any gift cards that I could use towards the purchase of one. So I'm trying to remain patient for that NVIDIA Shield. But I think it's a true testament to Android's 13 years that we still get so excited about what we're going to put in our houses and like the phones that we're going to use and what's coming out next. We're so lucky.
Right.
So lucky.
So
it's been a good 13
we love
years.
You, Android.
It's definitely kept us on our toes. It's kept things interesting. We've had some ups, we've had some downs, we've had some embarrassments from OnePlus. We've had some, it
was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
There's some people that we want to forget about, Andy Rubin. There's some other people who we, who we've seen rise the ranks and are, it's definitely been 13 years. I can't believe it's been 13 years of an emotional roller coaster when it comes to these phones and this operating system. So
Android Police, by the way, has they just put up a blog post today, but they have a fun bunch of links where they'll walk you through like Android 1.0, and they'll walk you through the very first Android prototype that they managed to get their hands on earlier this year. I thought that was pretty cool just to kind of like dive in there. And I think, with the time that we have at home right now, why not give yourself some time to reflect on the mobile operating system that you rely on?
It's November. It's the time to be thankful. It's the time to to look back on the year and on the past 13 years and give thanks for what we have. And honestly, like what we like my Nexus 4a, it's pretty doggone amazing. It's pretty awesome. And to think of where we were.
Did you say Nexus 4a?
No, I did say Nexus. I meant Pixel 4a. You see, I just love that Nexus phone so much.
Yeah. But good enough. Close enough.
Yeah. But it is amazing what we can do. It is easier to do everything that is more easier than ever to do everything we've ever wanted to do on these phones. And that's a testament to this operating system. So
Yep. And choice
Android
has never been better.
Lots of choice
better as well.